Good morning, everyone. This is Bremster, and today I'm coming to you with a bit of a double treat. Today I'm coming to you with the next puzzle in the series of Dying Flutchman Features Doables by Dying Flutchman, and I'm also coming to you with a guest solver on the line, call, Discord, chat, whatever. I have Sotek. Hi, Sotek.
Hi.
So, the reason I've pulled Sotek in for this one is a couple of reasons. The first one is I looked at the rules for this puzzle and realized this was going to be very, very mathy, and I'm really, really bad at math. So I thought I would call in a ringer and get some help. So thank you for joining me, Sotek. I really appreciate it. I do.
Glad to be here.
Um, The other reason is, as I've been saying over the last few days, we've been working very heavily on the polarizing Sudoku pack, which is going to be, looks like about 50, maybe a little over puzzles based on odd even, which I'm going to be running on my channel starting on hopefully the Friday the 13th of May and running for over a month. It'll run into June because I'm going on holidays in June and will not be around. And the pack will, that's just when I'll accept solutions. The pack is available to anyone forever, but Sotek has been one of the people who has contributed a lot of puzzles to that pack. So thank you, Sotek, for also doing that. That's been amazing, looking at some of the phenomenal puzzles you've created for that.
It's been a lot of fun
Yeah,
contributing to that. So
yeah, the collaborative setting and testing and stuff that you do when you make a pack is absolutely great. And to all of the setters out there, if you're interested in getting involved in that in the future, reach out. It's a lot of fun to do, and we're always, welcome to. Other people are always welcome to join us. Anyway, what we should do is have a look at this puzzle, 3 Lines by Dying Flutchman. I'll go through the rules, and then I'm going to be very dependent on Sotek to get me through this puzzle, I think. So, go through the rules quickly. We have normal Sudoku rules apply. In every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. I kind of say that just from because I do now. Digits cannot repeat along any of the main diagonals. So this is the diagonal rule. So the blue lines mean that, these must be another unique set of the digits 1 to 9. So no repeats on those. And this is where I need help. The sum of the digits along each of these purple lines must be divisible by 3. And by that, I assume they mean must be divisible by 3 and result in an integer. Otherwise, you could put anything on the line.
Yeah. Presumably.
Yeah. And then cell separated by a white dot must be consecutive. Not all dots are given. So while these 2 cells must be consecutive digits, these 2 could be as well. That's what we've got to go on. Shall we give this a shot?
Yeah.
Okay.
And while you were explaining the rules, I could not help but notice that you can just write a 9 into row 9, column 1.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that I know that needs explaining.
Yeah, it does. Oh, actually, no, it doesn't. Because
I mean,
45 is mod 3. So 45 is divisible by 3.
Right.
So 15 is divisible by 3. These are divisible by 3. So this has to be divisible by 3, and it can't be 3 or 6.
It can't be 3 or 6.
Okay, you got there a lot. If you hadn't told me that, I wouldn't have looked for it.
You wouldn't have seen it for a while.
Yeah,
yes.
But once you told me that, I could see why. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay.
I mean, and I was thinking of it as 7 is actually -2 and 8 is -1, but
Huh? Okay.
Modular arithmetic.
Yeah.
That gives you -3.
There's a reason you're here, and I.
Yep. Boxes 6 and 9 both have an arrangement that looks suspicious.
Yeah, I was both looking at that, and also, don't we know this has to be 3, 6, or 9?
Do we?
Well, that's mod 3, that's mod 3, that's mod 3.
That's mod 3. That last digit had better be mod 3. Yep, that's a 3, 6, or 9.
I just
It's not a 9.
and it's not a 9 because then that would have to be an 8 and that would be a problem. So this is a 3 or a 6. I just used the same trick you pointed
Yep,
out
yep,
along here where the
yep.
other place I saw it. So, um, so these are interesting. So these have to be a run of sequential digits in order.
Yeah.
So if this went 1, 2, 3, that would be 1 and 3, and that doesn't work. So
That
you
doesn't
can't put
work.
1 at either end. 2, 3, 4 would be 2, 4.
Which would work, except that you can't put a 3 there.
Yeah,
So
I'm thinking about both of them.
yeah.
So
Right.
two.
So the elbows have to be divisible by 3. That's what you get.
So these, and you can't put 9 in them.
And you can't put 9 of them. So they're
So
3-6
that's
pair. We
3
know that
and that's
we need the
6.
order. Yep.
Wow.
And then the order of the
So those are
5,
5
7.
and
You know the
7,
order.
and you know the order because of the set. That's insane. This is I
Very
wouldn't.
nice. Oh, and you know the order again.
Yeah, I would not have found that very quickly.
Yeah, that is very nice.
Yeah, thank you for being here. This would have broken me. That puts a 7 on this line.
It does. +1.
Now,
Not the most helpful fact.
can we eliminate any of those options? Well, this can't be a 6 because that can't be 5 or 7.
Yep. So that's a 4.
And that's
a 3. That's a 4.
4. So this math 4
plus it's a +2, so it's a 2.
Do you want to explain how that works? Because I'm not following it, and therefore there might be viewers who don't.
Oh, so, yeah, okay. So multiple of 3 plus 2.
Because this is a +1.
Or 0 is a multiple of 3. Yeah, that's a multiple of 3 plus 1.
So the other one has to be a multiple of 3 plus 2.
Plus 2.
Or minus...
Or -1, which is the same thing as +2.
Okay, so this multiple of 3 plus 2. So it needs to be 2,
5, 8.
5, or 8. So it's 2
It's not allowed,
or 5.
so it's 2 or 5. Yep.
So what you... So I'm trying to figure out how to explain it so I can understand it. Then if I can understand it, anyone can. So because this is a multiple of 3 plus 1, the other digit has to be a multiple of 3 plus, including 0, plus the other digit that gets you up to 3. So,
yes.
Right, cool.
You can just remove however many multiples of 3, because they don't matter. It's just and then you sum up your leftovers. And that had better be a multiple of 3.
Right. I am bad at math. Okay. So, if this is...
Yeah, hey.
If this is...
That's got to be a multiple of 3. So,
and this is a multiple of 3. So this is also 3, 6, or 9.
Yep, has to be.
And it's not 9 or 3.
And it's a 6.
It's a 6.
Yeah.
Because the diagonal rule comes into play.
Yep.
So now we've got this down to mod 3 and this down to mod 3.
Yep. And they're going to have to be the pairs, but we don't know enough.
Do we look at this quad?
Oh, actually, hang on. Yes, we do know a bit, because those pairs are 2, 5 and 1, 4. And there's only 2 places where 2, 5 can go.
So that can't be 5. That can't be 2.
That can't be 5 either.
That can't be 5. That's 1, 4.
So that's a 2.
That's a 2.
Just 2, yeah. 1 or 4 has to go with a 2 or a 5. And that can't be a 5, so it's a 2.
Because 1 and 4 does not... Yes, that's a 2. So there's no 2 there.
And there's no 5 there because it's a 5.
So that's the 5, and this is another 1, 4, except that's the 1, and that's the 4. Okay, the Sudoku bit I can do.
Most of the time.
You don't need to tell everyone that. Um, wow. Okay. So can we narrow down something on this quad? Because that feels way more comfortable to me. So these are 1, 2, 5, and 9.
Yeah.
There's no
So
5 or
that's
1
not a one
there.
either. Yep.
That's not a
That's
2
not a
or a
two.
9. Okay. Maybe that was not
Uh,
the right place to look.
That's not doing much.
Do we need to look at the fact that there's a 7 on this line, which is, by your term,
Seven's a
that's a
plus
plus
one, so it
1,
needs a
yep,
plus two.
in 2 digits. So that would be a
Well,
5, which it can't be.
8. It can't have a two. Yeah, and it can't have 1 and 4. 147 would work, but it can't be that.
Well, there's no 4 available.
Right. So it's going to have a 5 and then something divisible by 3.
So hang on,
Right?
it's going to have a 5.
Or an 8. 5 or an 8.
And if it's a 5, it's there. Well, we know
Yeah, so we
5
don't know
is
if
in
it's
one
a
of
5.
those two cells,
Yeah, we don't know if it's a 5 or an 8, but it's got to be one of those, and then it's got to be something divisible by 3.
which has to be 6 or 9.
Yes. And actually has to be 6 because of box 3.
So because of box 3, if it was
Box 3,
9
because if it was 9, 6 would have to go on that line.
on this line,
Yeah. With a 9.
if it was a 9 down here, 6, why would 6 have to go up there? Because 6 would go
Because,
here, which would put
yeah.
6 on this line, and then this line is broken because we'd have to put another 9 on it. That's
Yeah.
not an easy spot. So this needs to have a 6 on it with a 7, with either
Yes.
a 5 or an 8.
Yes.
So this is 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah. 6 can't go on the bottom. 5, if it's on there, is on the bottom.
And 8 is not restricted at all.
Yes, and the 7 isn't either.
So
Annoyingly.
9 is in here.
Yes. And we can place 6 in box 3.
Because 6 must go there. So
Yes.
these are also...
And we still can't put 9 on that line. Because the same reasoning, which means
so
we can
this
place
is
9
the
in
9, and this is a 2, and this is a 5, and this is a 1.
Oh. Ah.
So these are known now to be 1 and 2.
Yeah.
3 is divisible by 3, I suppose.
Does work.
So this is a quad, but not a particularly helpful one. Can we use this now? The fact that this has to have a 3, no, not a 3, a 4.
It has a 4, either a 5 or an 8. Well, it
No,
can't have a 5.
it must have a 9 on it as well.
4, 9, and 8. It's a 4, 9, 8 triple.
And it must have an 8 because it can't have the 5 because the 5's in the box. So this is 4, 9, 8, which takes 8 out of there. This is the 5, and this is a 6, 7. I would never have got that, by the way. This is an 8, 9. And this...
I'd gotten it because I was like, where does 6 go in in box 3? Because that seemed suspicious.
Yeah. No.
And then, so I was primed for that.
I think the best call I made with this puzzle is getting a ringer in. So this is resolved. That's 8 and that's 9. So 1 in this box has to go right there because it can't go in those rows now and it can't go on the diagonal. So that had to be the 1. 3 is in one of those two. 5 is...
well, then we can place 3 on that diagonal.
So 3... Yeah, that's a
there.
3.
Yeah.
Um, 9 can't go on the diagonal, but it seems to be okay apart from that. Actually, surely we can tell what this is now. Because this is mod 3, this is mod 3.
It's a +2.
This is +2. Hang on, no. This is 7. So this is +1. So
that's a +1.
Yeah,
so
this is a +1. So this is a
+2.
+2. I'm learning how to do this a bit better because I never understood when people are talking +1s or +2s before. So this is +2. So this is 2, 5, or 8.
And we don't know anything about any of them.
Damn. Oops.
Still, it's a thing to know. 6 is going to have to go into box 1 because
eventually
in that row. In row 3. Because if we put it on the short line, that's not going to work.
Because there's no 3 or 9 available. So 6 goes in here, and then the other 2 digits will have to be mod 3 as well.
Right.
That's another interesting thing I thought of. It's like, okay, which I'd never thought of before. So once you've got the 3, 9 and everything else must have something like this, then you're restricting the other digit. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
And that means, and now we can just place 6 in box 2.
Because 6 has to go there, so 6 goes right in the middle of box 2. This column?
Definitely feels like scanning somewhere.
2 is in one of those 2.
Sure has to be. Five has 2 spots on that diagonal.
There.
And row 1, column 1. Do slightly interesting things, but...
Do we just want to pencil mark the whole diagonal?
I think we maybe want to pencil mark the whole diagonal.
So 2, 5, 6, because it's those 2.
Yep.
7 seems to be okay in any of them.
8 could be anywhere.
Anyone except the top. And 9
can't be that one.
3.
Can't be row 1, column 1 either.
No, it can't. So 9 is in one of those 2.
It is.
So 9 is in one of those 3.
One hand, 5 only has 2 places in box.
Sorry,
yeah, one is only in. No, I was going to say 5 only has 2 places in box 4, but those 2 places are incredibly useless. It can't be in row 6, column 1, because that would knock both of them off the diagonal.
Row 6. Oh, yes. Because if it was there, there's no 5 there. So 5 is in one of those 2 spots. It's worth marking.
Yeah. But it's doesn't do anything.
So 5 is not in any of those. So
Yeah.
5 is in 3 spots.
Yeah.
Can we eliminate 5 from here?
It's a good question.
Because if
So 5.
this would
If we
have
knew
to be
about 7,
this would have to be 1, 4, or 7, wouldn't it? Yeah.
that would have to be 7.
See, I'm trying to learn.
Is. Yep. Um,
If this is 7, we know almost nothing about 7s.
yeah, we don't have a lot. Do we know anything about row 6, column 5? Because if we did, we'd suddenly know a lot about 7s.
It's a 7, 8,
if
or
it
9.
wasn't 7.
Because it sees everything else.
Oh, well, it's not a 9.
And it's not a 9, it's a 7 or an 8.
Oh, if that was a 7, that would be really neat. If it wasn't a 7, that would be really neat. Unfortunately, we don't know which way it's really neat, so that's inconvenient.
So we know there's a 6 on here, which is a plus 0. We know there's a 1 on here. So
Don't know there's a 1 on there.
Sorry, no, my question was if there's a 1 on here with a 6.
There's got to be a +1 and a +2. Yes.
Oh, there has to be a +1?
A +1 and a +2, but not necessarily a 1.
Okay.
A 1, 4, or 7. It's a +1.
Okay.
So there's a 1 or a 7.
Okay. Yes.
We do.
Right. Yeah. Starting to understand a bit better, sort of.
That's not guaranteed on a.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not guaranteed on a 3 in general. A 2 long that isn't just 2 that are both divisible by 3, and when you have something like a 6, then you do have a 2 long.
Long. Yep.
Yeah.
So this needs, with the 1, it needs to have a 2, 5, or 8.
Yeah. It has a 1 or a 7.
And it could have a 2 here. It could have a 5 in either of those or an 8 anywhere.
Yep.
No, it can't have a 5. No, it can have a 5.
It can have a 5 because
5 is in 3 spots in this box. I should not have pencil marked that. I'm actually going to get rid of those.
Yep. I have a quad in row 9. Is that at all an interesting quad?
There's one way to find out. 2, 3, 4, and 7. Well, there's no 4 there.
Take 2, 3 out of
2, 3 comes
there.
out of there.
That didn't do anything. It wasn't awful, but it didn't actually do anything.
We're
doing so well in the opening.
Consecutive dots. So is there something, I mean, this row seems to be where everything is happening. So is there a digit we haven't placed in this row that we need to pay more attention to? Like 1 has to go here or here. Is there a problem with putting a 1 here?
If we put a 1 there, then we need to put a 2, 5, or 8. Which it can't be a 5, so it would be a 2 or an 8. But that would work.
2 could go there, there, or there. 2 here would need a 1, 4, or 7, which seems to be okay.
Well, can't be a 4, but
no, it can't be a 4, 1 or 7.
Yeah.
5.
I admit I would be tempted to just pencil mark those two cells because looking
Okay.
at it, they actually don't have that many candidates.
2, 7,
And 8,
8.
and that's it.
And
That
this,
one.
do I want to just pencil mark everything and then eliminate? I think so. 1,
Yeah.
5, 7, and 8.
Yeah, and I don't think we can eliminate because both sides have a +1 and a +2.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. So the only thing that we haven't put in here is the 6, which is already put over here.
Yeah. And my attention keeps getting pulled to row 6, column 5, because either way that goes, we'd learn a lot.
Okay.
Because if that was a 7, actually, what would we wouldn't learn much if that was no, if that was a 7, you'd know that above it was a 2-8, and that would fix some things there. Because 2 and 8 are both +2s, so to the right of it would have to be a 1 or a 7. That would be a thing. And if it was an 8, that would force a 9-7 pair on the diagonal. It would place an 8. It would place a 7. No, it would place a 6, I mean.
Hang on.
Wait. Hang on. That can't be a 9 on that diagonal. Why did we say that was a 9 on that diagonal?
Where?
The main diagonal. That in box 5. That can't be a 9.
Which one can't be a 9?
Neither of them. They have a 9 on the diagonal already.
Why did I put a no? What? Oh, that was me.
So we should put a 9 back in row 6, column 5.
This is a
Because we took
3
the
9
9 out.
pair.
Is it? Because we took the 9 out of row 6, column 5 because of the pencil marked 9.
Right, we did.
So we can't be sure it's a 3-9 pair. I don't think.
So, yes, I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. So what have we missed here? This is 1, 2, 3.
I don't think we missed anything.
5, 6, 7. People will be yelling at me for that one. Hopefully they're yelling at me, not you. Okay.
I mean, I don't think it mattered. We caught it before it broke anything, but ouch.
Yes.
So 3 has to go that way. And
So I was looking at, if that's 2, that's 2, which makes that 2.
yeah.
Which makes that 2.
Yep. And would place the last 2 in box 8, and those all seem to work.
It does, doesn't it?
Inconvenient. And the other one seems significantly less constraining.
Yeah, that's why I picked that one.
Right.
Because if that's 2, that's 2, and then we've got lots of options.
Yeah. Lines aren't helping us. What are we missing? Right, I've once again proven that a cell that has a digit written in can't be some other digit.
Helpful?
I mean, it's true. It's just, yeah. Let's see. All else fails. Start penciling candidates, I guess. Oh, here's a digit.
Yeah.
1 in row 7.
Row 7. 1 can't be there, or... Yes. So that's not a 1 anymore. So 1 has to be in one of those two, which takes 1 out of there and puts a 1 on that line.
Yes. Yes, it does.
So we have 1 and 6, which is a total of 7, which means we need to put something that's a +2, which is a
2 or 8, so the 7 can't go there.
So the 7 is not there. So this has got to be 2, 6, or 8 in here.
Yeah.
So that puts a 7 on that line.
Yeah, puts a 7 on that line.
With
2, 5, or 8. Couldn't we put 5 into row 3, column 2?
Couldn't we put 5 into row 3? Sorry.
Column 2.
What? How can 5 go there?
2, 5, or 8. I think 5 can go there.
1, 6, 5 would be 12. Right, okay.
Yeah.
And it can't go there because...
Because there's a 5 in the column.
There's a 5 in the column, right, yes.
Yep.
Wow, that's still a lot of options.
Yeah. Still, that's 2 whole digits.
So this is now a quad. 6, 7, 8, and 9. That's not a 6.
That's a 9.
That's a 9?
Yeah. Just look in the other box.
That's a 9.
And tell me if you think those could be 9s.
So there's 8s in those. I'm a little floundered, obviously. So there's 8s in those, which means there's 8s in one of those two. There'll be a weird diagonal trick that I think we're missing. Though I don't see how.
I think we've just been missing some... we've been missing hidden singles.
They're very hidden.
What else is new? Row 1, column 5 is only 2 or 3, I think. Kind of interesting.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Can't be 7 because that has to go on the line.
Can't be 8, can't be 9. That is 2 or 3. Wow.
And speaking of cleanup, row 6, column 5 can't be a 9 again.
That's a 7, 8 pair. That's a 5.
It's nice.
Takes 5 out of there.
Ooh.
Places a 5. Places a 6.
Yeah.
Takes a 6 out of there, which places that 6.
Very nice. Yes.
That's 2, 8.
So where does 6
go on the diagonal?
On the
6 is there.
Yep.
This is 2, 7, 8.
Yeah. Which you can take 8 out of row 3, column 4.
Row 3. Yeah.
8 on the diagonal.
Other way. Because 8 has to go in one of those. If you put an 8 there, there's no 8 on the diagonal.
Yeah. You can also take a 5 out of row 3, column 6, because 5 looks up. Don't know if that one mattered, but... Oh, and that 3-9 pair, that is the 3-9 pair, and that lets us get that 8, which doesn't do much, but...
Yeah, I got it wrong because I accidentally removed the 9 from there, and now it's back.
Yes.
So this is also a quad now, which I think is also 4, 7, 8, 9.
Sure is.
That one's not the 9. That's a 4, 7, 8, 9 quad in the column.
So there's a 5 up top. Hi.
I don't know what that did for us. So this is
That is a
7.
digit.
So this has to be, if this is 2, we'll be at 9. And if this is 8, we'll be at 15, both of which are fine.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I'm
Yep.
just trying to wrap my head around the math. I'm not great at it. That can't be a 6. This is a 7, 8 pair because of the 6 over here. The 7, 8 pair means this is a 4. I take 4 and 7 out of there. This is a 2, 3. There must be a 7 in here.
And above it is a
This
2 or a 3
is
and an 8.
2, 3, 6.
Oh, we know where the 6 goes.
So this is a 6. This is not a 6. There's no 4 there. This is a 2, 3 looking up, making that an 8. Is that a 7?
Ah, well, that's really nice.
Is that a 2? The 7 makes that an 8, which takes 8 out of those. Now, that takes 8 out of those, which means that's the 7, that's the 2, that's the 5.
And the 2 can take care of the 3 above it.
Yeah. So these are 2, 3, and 8. And we know that's not a 2.
Now it should just be singles somewhere.
There are 3 digits here, and they've got 4 numbers in there, so there's a problem. There's no 7 in there.
Those aren't 7s.
And that's not an 8, so there's a 4, 9
So
pair. That is an 8. That's a 7, that's an 8. It's not a 7. There's a 4, 9 pair. That is a 7. This has to be a single. That looks to be a 4. 7 and 9, and we know the order. 7 and 9. Which means that's the 4, and that's the 9. Which means that's the 9, and that's the 4. That's a 1, and that's a 2. So that's a 1. This has to be an 8.
And above it's a 4. Only thing I managed to actually scan.
4 and 9 are what's missing. Why?
Well, that one's the column needs a 4.
Okay. 4 and 9 means that's a 3 and that's a 9, which means that's a 2. That is not a 2 or a 3. That's an 8. That's a 3. I think we've got it. 2 and 3. That was not 150 minutes. That was me once again forgetting to restart the puzzle. Now that there's a timer in it. I need to put a note somewhere big on my screen, possibly make it the bottom of my desktop. So it's like, restart the puzzle. I will never remember to do that. Thank you, Sotek, for joining me for that one. I learned a lot.
It was fun.
Because I've always struggled with that modular arithmetic stuff, and I've always avoided puzzles that did it. But because I'm working through this series, I didn't want to skip the puzzle. So thank you very much. I really do appreciate it.
Modular arithmetic's much easier than regular arithmetic, because you can just do the very small numbers.
Okay.
15's a big number. Too hard.
I just need to practice it, I think. And, I just use my calculator when I get to big killer cages. It's like, can't be that one, can't be that one, can't be that one, can't be that one. Done! Yeah. Do the math once, like 3 years ago, and never have to worry about it again.
There is that. I do look up killer cage combinations on a lot of puzzles like that.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for joining me. I hope we get to do this again at some point. And thank you very much for all the puzzles you've contributed to Polarizing Sudoku, which, as I said, the plan is to try and get out on Friday the 13th. Not a spooky thing. It's just releasing puzzle packs on Friday. Seems to be a good one because that way people can sort of knuckle down on the weekend. And yes.
But welcome. Hopefully people get to enjoy some very fun puzzles.
Yeah, there are some really cool puzzles in there. And thank you everyone for watching, and I will sign off with my normal good luck with your solving, and let Sotek finish off.
Bye.
Bye.